I'm Benjamin Hum. Through this presentation, we will explore the historical importance of the 1940s to the 1950s in Australian graphical design industry. In particular, how many poster campaigns have played a vital role in symbolising the cultural image of Australia and emotions towards war and politics. A selection of produced poster campaigns have been exploited in order to illustrate its purpose and underline the influence towards contemporary graphic design. Graphic media design has shaped Australia's image to be the land of golden beaches, exotic wildlife, healthy bodies and beautiful scenery, where during the 1940s to the 1950s, print campaign highlighted the nation's beauty and promoted the status of Australia. Widely renowned artists such as Gert Schoen, James Norfield and Harry Kelly were commissioned to build a poster print campaign to strengthen the image in Australian tourism. A wide variety of talented artists incorporated many of the nation's unique identity and infused their personal design styles, where the creative involvement produced a breathtaking collection of tourism posters for the Australian campaign. Often these posters incorporate graphic design elements where the compositions are conventionally strongly diagonal, counterpoised with the dynamic repeats elements. Many poster artists implement their colour palette with the washed out flat colours of a deep sandy gold and a warmth texture of oranges, which was accentuated by a little black and the white on a piece of paper. Graphic designers who produce tourism photos often use the more realistic tones towards their artworks, whilst in contrast the political wall posters were significantly stylized.
Oh, hi! I'm Evelyn. During the 1940s, the graphic design and colours displayed on newspapers and magazines were not for children playing in fields and laughing bright, full of colours and prosperity, but the world-changing events that happened rapidly through the passing of the First World War to the development of another, saw a lot of hostility which spread out into the communities through the use of media. A period of political uneasiness, development of technology and the bloody devastation of the war and depression. The images displayed over the newspapers and magazines were drab, dull colours and a military design of men in battle, men fighting for rights to vote and the political advancements of the nations of the world. The main desire for all media in the early 1940s was to imprint the need and the demands upon the people to serve the country and to fight for Australia, and to the delight of the powers of the slimy men to cause prejudice and hate towards the enemy. The image displayed on the screen is of an election poster in the 1940s of John Curtin's campaign to lead the Australian government, with his views expressing the need to sacrifice in order for the country to survive, even to the point of death and exhaustion of the men and women of this country. In particular, this image depicts a military man placing in his ballot slip into the voting box. It is typical of posters in this period, displaying a very structured, squared, organised image, bold, and in that period demanding attention, with a simple message to vote for Labor. The stark colours used in these posters appeared limited, based in washed out blacks, whites and sepia tones. Well, that's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rob Isaacs. After the First World War, there was a new interest in marketing and promoting, specifically Australia, overseas, with improvements in colour printing, namely lithography, and increased interest in commercial art and design. Travel posters were a potent marketing tool for the Australian identity. What's that? What's lithography? Well, lithography is a flat surface printing method ideal for producing large areas of uniform colour, and it was cheaper than etching. The use of simple forms and lettering made it an ideal medium for printing posters. In July 1929, the Australian National Travel Association, ANTA, was established to promote Australia to the world and keep it there. They were partly funded by the federal government and commercial enterprise. The need for ANTA to develop this style of poster for the international market was seen as radically modern at the time. They were always designed to be bright and eye-catching and cater for a wide range of tastes. During the 1930s onwards, there was a whole swag of artists using prolific and innovative design using Australian landscapes and wildlife. Some of these were James Northfield, Percy Trumpf, Douglas Anand, Tom Purvis, Aline Mayo, Ron Lambert, Robert Emerson Curtis, and many more.
Hi, I'm Roseanne Palm. One of Harry Kelly's creative pieces is his Tasmania, the Switzerland of the South. The poster's dimensions are 102 by 62.77 centimetres and is produced as a colour lithography and was published by the Tasmanian Government Tourist Bureau. This particular poster illustrates scenery of Tasmania's open lakes surrounded by the Great Mountains and lush green native trees. Kelly has designed the water to appear realistic, yet maintains its stylized composition. The selected tourism poster implements a strong distinctive font for the word Tasmania, with its olive green font colour that is encapsulated by the black outline. Below this, the designer has written the motto with an italic hand-written font for non-important words, in contrast with a sans serif olive green text for the keywords. Further below illustrates miniature black serif text, detailing additional contact information. Overall, the poster appears to have the conventional colour schemes, in comparison to many posters that were manufactured through this period. These are the washed out dull appearances with simple colours that vary from earthly greens, desert yellows and many shades of blue. The palette schemes chosen conveys emphasis to natural elements, giving the audience the illusion of an untouched nature. Its creative composition of the foreground, middle ground and background eludes the audience's vision with the trees, framing the image and guiding the eye towards the centre of interest. This poster is now residing in the National Library of Australia in a collection that epitomises the 1940s to 1950s Australian tourism campaign.
Hi, I'm Teresina Nastasi.
James Northfield has illustrated Pastoral Australia as a visual journey to the audience's eyes, where we are drawn into the strong, bold serif font saying Australia. The poster draws your eyes up to a realistic image of the pastoral, agricultural, peaceful scenery. Northfield teases the audiences, giving a snapshot glimpse of the breathtaking scenery of the unique Aussie outback. The image used in the poster is of the pastoral scene of two men on horses with their dog, flanked by trees with the mountain scenery as a backdrop, riding the distant high country. This particular poster has been constructed and designed for a wide international audience. The artist has used graphical elements of a more pictorial style that many critics have regarded as radically modern in Australia. Its purpose is to promote Australia's natural landscape and to convey a stereotyped image of the laid-back, peaceful land. Northfield has remained faithful to conventions of many tourism posters art during the 1940s to 1950s graphic design period, where we can see a limited range of washed-out dull colours, strong compositions, structure similar to many of the other posters manufactured during this time. Its portrayal of the landscape has a realism element that projects its intended concept.
The broad appeal of realism in art had the advantage of giving the unusual aspects of Australia depicted in posters an authority. Realism illustrates truth and accuracy. It is the ideology of objective reality and revolts against exaggerated emotionalism. The image was conceived by the artist to show the truth and representation of sunburnt land of Australia. Northfield has captured reality without embellishment and what Australia is actually like without exaggeration and idealisation. The end. Thank you for listening.